What's up, you guys? I'm Mina. Welcome to my channel, Mina Reads, and today I'm going to be talking about some of the books that I read this weekend. So I don't know what it was, but I just was in the mood to read paranormal romance, and I feel like in my mind and in my heart I really love paranormal romance, and it was something that I thought I was like really well read in. And then I realized that I've actually never read like any paranormal romance book besides Twilight, I guess. I think I really like reading like fan fiction of my favorite paranormal TV shows, and that's why I thought that I was so well read. But no, it was just fan fiction, and like fanfic is fucking lit. But I wanted to see like what was out there, so I went on Goodreads and I went to this paranormal romance series, and so I started the first book in a bunch of series, and also I picked one that was like diverse because most of them are like written by white people, starring white people, and you know, that's not really my brand. We love diversity here. So I think I'm gonna go from the ones that I like the least to the ones that I like the most, and then once we reach the end of this video, I'd like to get some recommendations from you guys. What are some paranormal series that you guys are really into, and do you think that they fit any of the tropes that I'll talk about that I liked or that I really disliked? The first book that I want to talk to you guys about is Angel's Blood by Nalini Singh. This was a DNF for me. This is actually the second time that I'm DNFing this book, so that's how you know that me and this book just do not mesh. I had this really specific issue with it, so I talked to some people and they were like, oh, that issue actually gets addressed, so the book gets better. So I was like, okay, you know, like I'm gonna trust that. I'm gonna try it again. But child, it didn't get better for me. I understand that they addressed the issue, but it didn't make the story better for me. So to elaborate on what the fuck I'm talking about, Angel's Blood by Nalini Singh is about this girl named Elena, and Elena is a vampire hunter. In this world, there are angels, and so the angels and like the archangels, they make the vampires, and people have to like petition to the angels to be turned into a vampire. But the cost of becoming a vampire is that you have to work under that angel for like the first 200 years of your life or something, and a lot of vampires try to like run away. So that's why the vampire hunters are necessary, and that's Elena's whole job. So at the beginning of this story, Elena gets called in by this guy named Raphael. He's the Archangel of New York, has a special job for her, and he wants her to help him track down this other angel. And a lot of this story seems to be Elena being like, yeah, but I tracked down vampires, I don't know how you expect me to find this angel. And then Raphael's like, don't even worry about that, I need you. And it's just like this whole back and forth. I just don't care about the characters at all. I don't think that anything about the way that the author writes the characters is interesting to me, and I think also the fact that I really don't care about the plot, which is Elena and her relationship with this Archangel Raphael that she's working with, and her trying to find this angel dude. He's gone rogue, I don't know. That's the plot, but I really did not care. I think that the characters, they just have like a horrible, incredibly toxic relationship to one another, and it just fucking sucked. So like, let's talk about like specifically, very explicitly, what I dislike about this story. So at the heart of this story, Elena is working for the guy Raphael, and Raphael is like really attracted to her, and as an angel he has all of these powers to like read minds, and he also has like slight mind control powers, and he uses his power to read Elena's mind all the time.
It's getting weird.
Something about angels, they're like really beautiful, obviously, kind of give off like this aura that's really strong and very appealing. So Elena is constantly having these like sexual thoughts and like fantasies, I guess, about Raphael, and that's like a huge part of the story, how much she's attracted to him, but how she doesn't want to sleep with him because she knows that like he probably won't value a relationship with her, and she doesn't really want to hook up with him, and also she just thinks it would be like unprofessional. But he spends the whole book just sitting around like, spare coochie, ma'am, spare coochie. Like, he literally cannot shut up about trying to proposition her sexually. And she's always like, no, I don't want to do this with you. I hate this story because he does not respect the fact that she says no. It's like, mouth is saying no, but your mind is saying yes. Bitch, who cares what my thoughts are saying? My mouth said no, so that's it. No means no. No is period. End of the sentence. No. Consent. Consent. Do we not value consent in this world?
You are going to jail! Period!
Around the midpoint of the story is having this interaction with Raphael, and it's getting very like sexually intense, and so they're like kissing and stuff. She typically is able to kind of pull back and like stop interactions before they get too intense between them, but in this case she wasn't able to, and she just felt like drawn to him and she couldn't control herself. And come to find out, he was like mind controlling her in that moment. He was using like his mind control powers to persuade her to like stay with him and like want to fuck him. So when she realizes that he's using these powers on her, I don't know, she like punches him, she stabs him, I don't know, she does something to him and she runs away. And then we spend a good like 10 to 15% of the book like running away from him, and he sends like all of these goons out to find her and to like track her down. And it's just a very strange sequence of events, because after that, like after she gets found and everything, she tries to shoot him because he tries to come into her apartment, and she shoots him, and then she's like, oh, I feel so bad, I'm as much of a monster as him. And then he kind of tries to be like, oh well, you know, I'm not a rapist. Like she accuses him of being a rapist. He was like, it was an accident, I couldn't control my powers, and blah blah blah. But it's just like, I don't like it. I don't enjoy the power dynamics of this story, where this guy has all this power, and literally like he has the power to influence her mind, and he's trying to force her into this relationship. Like, that's the worst part for me. I think that if it was just like a natural progression of them feeling like sexually inclined towards each other, they want to bang and all that, I'm all about it. I mean, like, horny characters, I relate to them on a very visceral level, so like I could be cool with that. But the fact that he's constantly propositioning her, he's constantly trying to get her into his bed, and then at the first chance he got, I'm supposed to believe that it was an accident, that he didn't mean to mind control her into almost sleeping with him. I don't believe it, I don't buy it, and I don't like it. Really hate this guy. He can't respect that no means no. Also, every time he's on the page, the author is like, his male beauty, his male skin, the maleness of him just being a man. Oh my god, who the hell is talking to me? Leave me alone. It's like, damn. You know what? I just might start thinking he's a man. Like, I wonder if the author's ever going to confirm his male skin. Like, everybody got the same skin, bitch. Like, I don't like writing like that. It's so ugly. It's so stupid. Like, just shut up. We get it. He's a man. We know. Anyway, that was a long rant. So now I'm going to talk about my second least favorite, which was Once Burned by Jeaniene Frost. And this book is about Dracula and about this like circus performer person in a relationship. It's very strange. So it's about this girl named Layla. She is a circus performer, and she gets kidnapped by some vampires, and they're trying to get her to locate Dracula. That's like, I don't know, she has some weird power where she has like electricity, and also she can like read objects, and she can like read their history and stuff like that, and also she touches people, she can see their future. So she's reading this object so she can find Dracula. This is how her and Dracula connect. All these people are like on the hunt for Dracula. They're trying to kill him, and they basically become a couple after she tracks him down. He kind of takes her with him to, I don't know, where the fuck does he live? Transylvania, Romania, that's where he lives. He takes her to live in Romania with him for a while so that she will be safe, because like these vampires are kind of hunting her down too. While there, they just start liking each other and they decide to start boning, and I kind of liked this, but then after a while it was like, it was whack. I thought that the plot was really whack. It wasn't like well conveyed, and there was nothing about it that I really cared about. I feel like the Dracula in this, he's supposed to be like really ruthless and like scary and intimidating, and at first I kind of felt like he was giving me all those vibes, and I was like, yes daddy, I do. And then I was like, no daddy, I don't, because he was so annoying. He reads minds. Clearly I don't like when men can read minds in books. I feel like mind reading is such like an invasive and creepy thing, and I hate the concept of it. So it's like never sexy, it's never fun to me. I don't like it. But Dracula in this, like, he was kind of hot. It was like the whole smirking asshole stereotype, but I wasn't mad at it. And I wasn't mad at the girl Layla. Like, she was with Dracula. He was definitely like sugar daddying it up. Like, she was living in a castle, she was on her princess shit. Like, I really loved that for her. But the plot plot in this book is so boring. I literally couldn't give less of a fuck. The antagonist, he was just very like inconsequential. Like obviously there's things going on in the plot that are affected by the antagonist like doing things and attacking them and stuff like that, but the antagonist didn't feel like enough of a character that it was interesting when he would do things. I never cared about like his master plan. I didn't care about how they were going to defeat him. Really, I just wanted to read about Layla and Dracula clapping cheeks, and it wasn't enough of that. It was some, and it was very spicy. Loved that, but for the most part the plot was very like. So after that I read Mating the Huntress by Talia Hibbert. Girl, this was so good. This was so good. Like this was the diverse wonderfulness that I really needed in my life, because The Huntress by Talia Hibbert is about this girl named Chastity, and Chastity comes from this long line of hunters. She herself is not allowed to hunt because when she was born, a witch kind of foretold that her first hunt would rip her heart out. Her parents don't want her to be a hunter, and they don't want to fulfill the prophecy. So she is really intensely like, she doesn't give a fuck about that prophecy, and she's gonna hunt no matter what. And basically there has been this werewolf that comes into her coffee shop every single day for a month, and he is just trying his very best to flirt with her, and she kind of is interested, but also she's kind of just staking him out because she's planning to murder him. So he asks her out on a date, and his name's Luke. Luke is like my favorite werewolf that I've ever read about. He was, oh my god, I loved him so much. So Luke is like, he's kind of animalistic in his thinking. It's very interesting. He kind of views humanity at a distance, which I think is fascinating. And so he's trying to like Google how to interact with humans and how to like approach her and ask her on a date and stuff. So his point of view is like so fun and funny because he's trying to figure out like how to properly interact with her and like how to pick up human social cues and stuff, and meanwhile she's plotting to brutally murder him. So they go on this date together, and he's like doing all this really cute sweet stuff. Like, so he like buys her these cupcakes, and he does all this really sweet, wonderful, nice stuff for their date or whatever. The date's moving quite along, you know, it's moving along. It seems like they're about to hook up, and then she pulls out a knife and she stabs him. And I just think that this book is so fucking hilarious. Like, his reaction when she stabs him is quite possibly the funniest thing I've ever read about. As soon as she stabs him, he's like, oh my god, she is the woman for me. Like, his reaction is just like the funniest thing, and I love him. As she's trying to brutally murder him, he's like so into it. He's like, yes queen, stab me. I loved his point of view so much, and I love Chastity. I thought she was really cool, and I liked how she was really like goal oriented, even if her goals was like to murder a man. It was very interesting. I really liked this book. I think that if you want like a unique werewolf mating book, also there's like a soulmate bond in this. Y'all know that I love some soulmate tropes in my stories, so this was so good. It just was so fun and funny, and I just loved it. And I think that Luke and Chastity are such a cute couple. This is a very short book. I think it's only like 120 pages or something like that, but it was amazing. I feel like in those short amount of pages, Talia Hibbert did an amazing job developing the characters and the relationship and all that kind of good stuff. So I really like that. I thought that it was super lit. And the last book that I read was Halfway to the Grave by Janine Frost. This was my favorite one. This was my favorite one. I think just because I had the most fun reading this. I listened to it on audiobook, and the audiobook narrator, Tavia, I think her name's Tavia Gilbert, she is fucking amazing. I think that she was like so funny, and I think the writing of the story was also fun and like, you know, cheesy, a bit campy in like a good way. And I think that the audiobook narrator did like a brilliant job of giving both of the protagonists, Kat and Bones, like a lot of personality, and also just bringing a lot of excitement. And like, I felt so engaged in the story listening to her narrate it. So that was like the perfect experience. I think if you're going to read this book, you should listen to it on audiobook. Anyway, basically, Halfway to the Grave is about this girl named Kat, and she is half human, half vampire. When her mother was younger, she was raped by this vampire. As a result, her mother has been like scarred as a result of this really traumatic event, and Kat is half human, half vampire. She doesn't necessarily need to like drink blood or anything, but she has like, you know, supernatural enhancements. Like, she's fast and she's strong and blah blah blah, and she's like super pale. And basically when she turns 16, her mother tells her about what happened to her and about what Kat is. And so Kat decides that she's going to be like a vampire hunter, and she's going to just kill vampires whenever she comes across them to like avenge her mother basically. And on her quest to avenge her mother, she meets this one vampire named Bones, and she realizes maybe not all vampires are terrible. So I fucking love this. This book is so fun. It's so good. Like, obviously that concept, I don't want to say it's like fun because it is a little bit like traumatic. I think the plot is so good because when Kat meets Bones, Bones enlists her to like help him solve this vampire mystery, and she gets to kill a lot of vampires with him, and he teaches her like better ways to be a vampire hunter, and he is also a vampire hunter. He's like a bounty hunter or whatever. And I feel like her chemistry with Bones is so fun and hilarious. I think Bones is like one of the funniest male characters I've read about in a while. Typically male characters just get on my nerves, but Bones was so fucking funny. He was kind of like really annoying, but I loved him. I thought he was just so fun. And then I feel like Kat, she was also really fun, and I loved how she really wanted to do this to like get revenge for her mom. I feel like that was such a good character motivation, because I feel like a lot of times when you have stuff like that, like, oh, this person is like a hunter or whatever, I feel like I care more about characters like that when they have a good character motivation. And so her character motivation was really strong, and so I was really invested in her like being a successful vampire hunter, you know. And then the plot of the story is her and Bones are tracking down this like vampire run human trafficking ring, where these vampires are human trafficking young women, and it's about her and Bones bringing down this human trafficking ring. And I just feel like it was just an amazing plot, and I love the characters and I love their relationship. It was like so intense and really steamy, and I really liked it. And I just think that it was like such a good plot. Like, I feel like sometimes with paranormal romance, it's like the plot sucks, or the relationship sucks, or they both suck. And I feel like for me to really like paranormal romance, I want the plot to be good, and then I want the character relationship to also be good. Because if it's a contemporary romance, I won't really care if there's a plot or not. But if it's paranormal, I want there to be a plot, you know? I mean, I wonder if there are paranormal romances that don't have a plot, that are just like slice of life. I would be interested in that too, I think. Let me know if you know about any like that. But anyway, I just really liked this. I just thought that it was so fun and it was so good. And I don't know, I just wanted to like talk to you guys about the paranormal books that I read recently. But let me know some of the paranormal books that you've read recently, or that you read a million years ago. I don't really care, but let me know about them. Let me know which ones you really liked, which ones you think I might like. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for this video, because I've been talking too much and I wanted to talk to you guys about these books, but I didn't want to wait until I did a wrap up, because I just have a lot of thoughts and a lot of feelings, and I should have vlogged my experience reading these, but I was kind of lazy. So hope you guys are like cool with this little sit down chit chatty thing. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in my next video, which is going to be really exciting. So stay tuned for that next video. Leave me some comments below with your recommendations. I'd love to hear them. Also, let me know if there's any videos that you're interested in seeing from me in the future, because I'm planning out future content. So, you know, let me know what I can implement to make the channel more fun for you guys. All the links to my social media will be in the description below. And yeah, I will see y'all soon. Bye, you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe.